All right, we're back just for a quick follow-up. I've got the diff taken apart here. I just want to kind of show you what the culprit was here. All right, so, and this diff comes apart really easy, by the way. You've got essentially two collars here on either side where the axle hubs are, and they just actually press out. They just press out the screwdriver, just get in here, take the bolts out, get in here with the screwdriver, and evenly start to work them out, and they press out pretty well. You can see that these this housing is actually in pretty good shape right in here. It's pretty smooth, no scoring or anything like that. Same to the other side. And I'll just show you what that whole housing looks like. It's a spider gear. I don't know, I'd call it, I don't know what you want to call this thing, but I would pretty much call it a cartridge. But there's absolutely zero wear on this. Everything looks fine. Bearings are great. So this piece of the diff is not to blame, but the culprit in here is the front shaft. This is the pinion shaft. And this front gear, okay, will insert in like this, and that gear will spin the other spider gear on that main cartridge. Again, I'm not a master machinist at diff, so you know, I swap them in, I swap them out, I diagnose them, but you know, excuse my terminology, I may not be using the most advanced terminology for this kind of work, but let me just kind of show you what's going on here and why this failed. So, and they seem to commonly fail at the pinion gear here, pinion bearing. But as you can see, this pinion bearing here, the larger one, is badly scored up. And the reason that happened was because of the bearing. Here's the inner part of the bearing, the race, okay? The ball bearing. This ball here worked its way out. There's too much play. It's not staying. You can see the other ones are situated. And by the way, this is made by INA. That's a BMW OEM manufacturer. I am shocked. I have never seen this design before. Then again, I've never taken apart a lot of diff bearings, but I am kind of shocked. These kind of ball bearing, I don't know what you call them, but the ball bearing kind of framework that holds them in place is plastic. Although maybe not, maybe it's carbon. It's some type of hard plastic, I can't really tell, but the reason I know part of it's plastic is because if you look here on this one actually broke. So when that breaks, this bearing again starts to have some wobble, and that's what's going to cause some of the issues. So we suspect that this broke, plastic construction. This one's a little thicker. I mean, certainly the plastic feels tougher, but it is plastic. I can't believe you put a plastic in a high heat diff like this. Ridiculous. This bearing is toast. This bearing is badly scored up. Hopefully the camera can focus. It's definitely out of round and all scored up and chewed up. But most likely this failed, had some play in it, and then it started working its way around the outer. This is the outer race portion, okay? We have to cut this out if we want to rebuild it. But this is the outer bearing race here. So we've got scoring up here, and actually if you look closer, right here on the inner, you've got right there, you can see where also some contact is being made. But most likely this occurred first and it was worse, and this play here possibly caused some additional play on the inner or the more distal bearing, which is right here. And this is actually okay. This one's pretty intact. Okay, this is the inner race and ball bearing segment of the inner. One of the inners, I believe there are two. I think there are three total bearings. Two inners, I think, and then this outer one that again was really badly scored up. And so again, this was the second failure point right here because of a crack. You can see that on the camera, hairline crack, and that's what caused this. So as far as rebuilding this, I don't think it's too bad. I think it's definitely serviceable in hindsight, because the cartridge that I showed you before seems to have to be shimmed. That's tough stuff, and one has to get on that cartridge within nanometers, okay, of precision. There's a lot of certainly a lot of fine tuning on that. I don't do it personally. I usually outsource it, but I don't believe the cartridge was bad. I think that the pinion bearing, okay, was bad, as we solely was bad. So in theory, one could take this, remove the cartridge, bring this to be pressed. You're going to have to press this out with some type of machinery, maybe a bearing press, but it presses, I believe, inward. We're gonna have to come in here and cut the races out using a Sawzall, and then press the new bearings back in. I think that's a doable job. I don't think there are any specs, okay, on this pinion gear. You can see the outer race is still attached. Look at that scoring too on this outer race. It's awful. Look at all that grinding. You can see that's all chewed up here from that ball. From that, I believe, is this where it broke here, right? So we do have this bearing shot, and then this bearing, I think, was probably this one here. Yeah, and then that's the outer. So outer, mid, okay, mid, and then inner. And that was the bulk of the grinding and the howling that you're hearing during driving, and the rest wasn't too bad. So definitely serviceable, I think. I would give it a shot. This is on a BMW M5, I think 2013. I think it's a 2012 through 2016 era. These are known to go bad, I think. They're under a lot of stress. And given the fact that you can find these used in the aftermarket, but they usually have already 60K on it, and this one failed at around 70. Actually, this one failed around 60K. The owner continued to drive on it for a long time. So these do tend to fail early, and so we don't know how long this. We ended up swapping in a new one at 65, about 65K miles. We won't be shocked to find out if that thing starts failing. One of the things I'd recommend if you're sourcing a used part is to put a stethoscope up to this housing here and put either a drill or something that spins quietly and try to spin this bearing and hear if you hear any grinding through this housing with a stethoscope. I would highly recommend that before installing a used part, because these things just are known to fail, and it's kind of a pain in the ass project. It's quite a lot of labor to get this thing in. So that's just a quick rundown of what you might find on an M5 from this era, BMW rear diff teardown, post-failure teardown. Pinion shaft, it's called the main bearing on the pinion shaft failure, causing a secondary failure at the outer pinion shaft, and noise and vibration. Okay, thanks for tuning in. I hope that's been helpful, and we'll see you. Subscribe, like, I appreciate it. We'll see you on the next video.